Hello, welcome to day 33, the Pendulum Rule in Transurfing in 78 Days, a book by Vadim, Zeland. And the Pendulums Rule, so we've all experienced pendulums and we've all been under the rule of pendulums. We're often chastised into following these rules. There's a pendulum even to YouTube. And for me right now, we're in the middle of primary season for President of the United States. You can just see and observe the pendulums everywhere you look. It's always fascinated me how adherents to pendulums really can't see outside the box the pendulum has built for them. They're not allowed to see through that filter of the pendulum. The first part of the reading for today was the principle. The pendulum rule reads, "Do as I do," which means change yourself and copy the stereotype, becoming adherents of somebody else's opinions or the whole collective opinion. And that's what is fascinating, because we're all making our own layer of our world, right? But when we get under the pendulum's rules, even in transurfing, it's like we still need to retain our own self and our own unique individuality in order to create a world that resonates with ourselves and our own rules. Transurfing, it's almost not allowed to study astrology, where I've been studying astrology for a long time, and I love the archetypal usages of archetypes in astrology, and I see those are even pendulums, but you can study them with a neutrality and not, I don't like anything that's predicting futures, but you can see the kind of wavelengths that are coming onto the planet right now through the lens of astrology. And that's really what we're doing, is we're looking through different lenses, and we have to kind of create our own filters and our own lenses to truly be a vibrant human being who's creating their own reality. And for me, it's important to discern when a pendulum is influencing my thinking, and I'd prefer to have free will and be the one choosing my thinking, so I can be a transmitter instead of just a receiver. I mean, there's this balance. So you receive the information, but you can receive it from a neutrality. And the neutrality is in the center of your head. So let's go into trance as we transurf. So go ahead and breathe all the way from the bottom of your lungs up to the top of your head, so that your breath is distributed all the way down to your toes. The oxygen is going to every cell in your body. Just be aware of this. And exhale. And ground as you're exhaling all the way to the center of the earth. Connect your feet to the earth and allow earth energy to come up through your legs, and just feel that soothing earth energy that is allowing us to play with density on this planet right now, to experience life. And the beauty of nature, And just allow this earth energy to come up as you're breathing in, coming up through your knees, through the marrow of your bone, and running through every one of your energy vortexes in your body, smoothing it out, allowing you to dislodge any old energy, and really, truly, by breathing, we can come into the present moment. And I'm using my hands as I describe this, and you might want to use your hands as you're pulling up the earth energy through your torso, through your heart chakra, which is behind your sternum, your breastbone, up through your throat chakra, which is in your throat, your communication, and through your sixth chakra, which is where your neutrality and your spiritual lens can be, and where you create, and then up to the top of your head, and let this earth energy cascade down through your aura as half of it has already dropped down, re-establishing and establishing your grounding cord. And you remember the game rock, scissors, paper, rock, scissors, where you play with somebody, say you are playing against, say I want your marble, and you do a rock, scissors, and the scissors cuts the paper surrounds the rock, and the rock, what does the rock do? The rock hits the scissors. And that's kind of how I view the pendulums. When we're the flow of the pendulum, we have all these different energies at our availability. We are magnets, essentially our energy system. Every cell in our body is a magnet, and always seeking kind of balance and harmony. And because of these laws of elements, it creates this beautiful balance within our cell, and just of these magnetic things that create movement, and this beautiful design of life is based on these elements. In my mind, when I studied this chapter for the last day, yesterday I started reading it, and so the answer for me that came to me in dealing with pendulums is kind of figuring out what is the consistency of its energy. Is it air, communication? Is it survival, kind of earth, structure? Is it fire, getting people's emotions all fired up? Fear is, using that fear a lot of times is how pendulums rule us. Is it water, which is kind of the absorption, the feelings, sadness, kind of this absorbing everything. And if you study Chinese medicine, there's also the element of metal. And so these all dance in these ways that enhance each other if they're flowing in the right direction. Where it seems like the pendulums get us flowing in an opposite direction of what our native self would do. when we're dealing with a powerful pendulum influence in our world, sometimes we need to shrink down the world, like right now we have coronavirus. And it has the whole collective building fear, the pendulum of fear. And that is one way to control a population, is to get them very afraid. And also, fear lowers our immune system. So just look and see if your body goes into fear when I mention the coronavirus or any virus. And then look at your immune system, and your immune system is designed to recognize things that are not a part of our healthy immune system. And once it identifies that, it can move. Certain cells in our body are designed to eat these attacker cells. That what viruses do is they puncture using the DNA. It uses the cells organelles and the cells pieces, and it takes over that cell and starts replicating itself. And so the key to a healthy immune system is so that your body identifies that as being an outer invader. And actually our whole body is made up of a lot of bacteria and stuff that coexist with us, but they're coexisting with us and they actually enhance our immune system. So what we need to do when we're dealing with pendulums, or we're dealing with fear, or we're dealing with our immune system, this meditation will be, once we start getting down and deeper down into the meditation, is to start identifying when we're having the pendulum insert its DNA into our thinking, its agreements into our thinking and controlling us and boxing us in. Okay, so let's become aware of our breathing again. And the breathing oxygenates and empowers us to become more and more into this present moment, where any sound you hear makes you go deeper and deeper down, more and more relaxed. Easier every time you listen to a meditation to get into this trance state where you can reprogram your subconscious mind by using these platforms that we are developing in this trance state, so that you could use them throughout the day, like grounding all the way down to the center of the earth, so that you can bring in more cosmic energy, more information of your divine self, and more divine energy, which is a neutral energy that we can use to shift our realities into a layer of a world that we're in cohesive alignment with, as ourselves, as our true selves. So just allow yourself to build the platform, to build the room, to build your stage from the center of your head, and be also aware of your other energy systems flowing smoothly in delight. And just become aware of your heart energy. And see if there's any shields up or any injury where you've restricted your heart. Because as children, we're very open and we open our heart, and then our heart can become broken. And then we, some insult or injury, somebody can tell us we're wrong, and in essence, our joy is wrong, or our enthusiasm, or our ideas, and we take it personally and we contract. Usually when we have pain in our body, it contracts around the pain so it doesn't feel the intensity of it. And as a child, that intensity can be so huge that we'll contract. And then as we contract, just be aware of how we kind of create our own pendulum around that attraction. So any other incident, it starts attracting more incidents with the unresolved emotion. Is like this little magnet that creates more and more evidence of that being a truth. That this is an example, I get in trouble when I express my enthusiasm or when I giggle. And just look and see if there's any contractions in your heart. And now I want you to imagine that you're looking at your screen and create on your screen a fire. Like you're at the beach and there's a beautiful bonfire and you throw in driftwood. Now imagine that this fire can be used by you. And just imagine that you're taking that shield in front of your heart, or that density around the pain that is trying to protect you but actually keeping you away from your enthusiasm or your joy because it's constricted and dense. And enthusiasm is a very light energy. So just allow that density to be loosened up and just imagine that you're shrinking it down till it's the size of a little BB. And then you just toss it into the fire and watch it explode. And then I want you to come up into your fifth chakra, into your throat, in your communication. Were there any times that you got in trouble for speaking your truth? Did a pendulum come down on you and install its rules on what the truth is and how you're not supposed to look beyond? Like the words I think of is conspiracy theorist. That's a pendulum created word to keep us from seeing. It keeps us from looking at different possibilities. I believe in the free will to explore wherever our heart, mind, and soul wants to explore, whatever realms we choose. And by being called different names, it's very common for pendulums to create these boxes of beliefs where it is evil or death even to look beyond these boxes. That is a really big pendulum game, is to throw us death pictures, especially eternal death. It's one way we are controlled. So allow your eyes to go into the infinity symbol and go ahead and change the direction. Become aware of your breathing. And just let any of these forces of the pendulum that have been ruling your thinking and your communications, just let them go. Just imagining that there's air. It's like it's becoming steam, or it's becoming lighter than steam. It's becoming like the air. And think of how the air holds things that we can't see in it, but things that are needed, and how our lungs let go of the things that are not needed and absorbs the things that are needed. And allow yourself the freedom to expand a little bit more. And if there's any resistance to any of these pendulums and the rules of the pendulums, just allow yourself to see the fire again on your screen, and just shrink that resistance wherever it is in your body down into a little size of a BB, and look at that BB and see if it's spinning. And then just imagine that you can spin it in the opposite direction in a game. It's just a fun little game. It doesn't mean much. It's just getting that resistance to spin in a different vibration, and then toss it into this fire, and this time the fire explodes in fuel because of the air energy involved. Fire eats oxygen, and that's how our body is fueled by the Krebs cycle, which is a little fire in every cell that we have. And just allow yourself to postulate that you now have a construct in your mind that your soul, your inner guardian, is the immune system for your thoughts. And so when a pendulum starts to inflict its rules upon your thinking, your inner guardian will identify that rule and choose whether you want to believe that rule or use that rule, or you temporarily use the rule, or how you want to deal with that rule. If it feels dense to you, I would suggest, if it's making you constrict, I would suggest just throwing it in the fire, shifting it, making your own rules. Not even fighting that rule, just shifting it out of your energetic field. And now I want you to look at your energy. What are the messages that are coming from your true soul self? What are the gifts that you came into this world willing to give? Abilities that are unique to yourself, the constellation of your abilities There's no one like you. And just allow yourself to really, truly know that. And you can truly know that by getting in touch with your heart energy. Finding the flame, the universal flame of love, of light, of radiance. And allowing this flame to move through your body, touching every aspect, becoming the 12-stranded DNA force where you're more energy than density, and where you can witness how your thoughts are creating the reality. So you want to be the transmitter of your own thinking and receive only energy that is in alignment with your soul. So have your inner guardian be in charge of this filter where you are in charge of filtering what you choose to use to create your reality and how you wish to create your future. And you are allowed and instructed to create a beautiful future, because you being able to activate this ability will help others create their own reality, and thereby creating a planetary shift. So allow your energy to shift up a little bit lighter, and any density, any pain, just allow it to go into that fire on your screen. And then allow yourself to cool that fire with some water, the water that absorbs all these emotions. And choose an emotion that is light for you, that ignites you, that makes you feel glad to be alive. And allow this emotion to expand into the water and into the earth as you ground to the center of the earth and up to the universal field. And every time you drink water today, I would like you to think of this light, to think of this love, to think of this emotion that you've chosen that makes you feel expansive. Joy, laughter, happiness, clarity, order, whatever it is that expands you today. And allow it to really sink in. And when you drink water, be thankful for that water. When you light a candle, be thankful for that fire. When you touch a stone, be thankful for the ability to work through matter in this lifetime, and also to create your future through your thinking. And any kind of beverage, just put this expansive energy into what you're trying to create, what you are creating in your life, into this drink that you're allowing to come into your body. And invite your soul to play more and more a role in your life. This has been Quantum Timelines, study, meditation of Transurfing in 78 days, the Pendulum Rule, day 33, and join me tomorrow for day 34. And aloha. And may the spirit of aloha go with you this day and every day, and with every thought that you think. Thank you.